Hello, students of class 11C. This is Microeconomics chapter 1 introduction, and we are going to study a new topic today. Students, as we have already studied in our previous video about central problems of an economy, where on the basis of allocation of resources, we used to classify three central problems. Number one was what to produce and in what quantity. This problem was related to the problem that as scarce resources existed in the economy, because of which there was a decision to be made that what type of goods should be produced, that is more necessary goods are to be produced, and also its quantity is also being recorded. Now, on the other hand, second problem we have studied how to produce, which was related to the technique of production, in which two type of techniques used to come: labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. We have studied already. Now this is the third problem that we are going to start on the basis of allocation of resources, for whom to produce. As students, you all may be knowing that goods and services are produced in three different sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. And all these goods and services are actually produced for which type of people? So the answer is that these goods and services are produced for all the people who are residing in the country. And on the basis of this only, let's start reading from the first line. This is also called the problem of distribution of national income among the factors of production. So this for whom to produce problem is also called as the distribution of national income. As you may all be knowing that all the three sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary sectors, when produce goods and services, we used to take the money value of all these goods and services together within the domestic territory during a particular year. The money value of all these goods and services are then being divided among four factors of production, as all the goods and services are produced with the very important four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. As I told you before that if we remove any one of these factors of production, then production will not take place. And this money value of all the goods and services is actually being distributed among these four factors only, in the form of land receives rent, labor receives wages or salaries, capital earns interest, and the entrepreneur earns profit. So in this manner, this distribution of national income is done. When we move to the second line, it's written goods and services are produced for consumers, and consumers' capacity to purchase goods and services depends on his income. So all the goods and services are produced for the consumers only, but it depends that how much quantity of different consumers are going to purchase these goods and services. It mainly depends on their income, as every individual is having his own budget. In the third line, when we go, it is very important to ensure that a person should get income equal to the contributions he makes to the national product. So as we all know that whatever type of economic activity is performed by different individuals in the production of different goods and services, his contribution is given a compensation, that is, he receives income from that particular type of economic activity that he conducts to produce goods and services. So this contribution of his is actually equal to the amount of money that he is getting from his economic activity. So therefore it is written that to ensure that a person should get income equal to the contribution he makes to the national product. Then in the next line it is written, the problem of for whom to produce is the problem of determining wage rate for the use of labor, rent for the use of land, interest rate for the use of capital, and profits for the entrepreneur. As I told you that this money value of all the goods and services in the three sectors produced is distributed among four factors of production, and same is written here also. As I told you, land receives rent, labor gets salaries or wages, and capital earns interest, and entrepreneur gets profit. In the last line it is written, more equitable is the distribution of income, more equitable will be the distribution of national product. So as you can see here that equitable distribution of income is very important in every society, because if the income among different consumers, among different factors of production are equal, then all the different individuals will be able to get equal amount of goods and services produced in an economy. But in actual life or in reality, there is a big difference between the income of different individuals. Like rich are getting more income and poor are getting lesser income, and because of this only they cannot get equal amount of goods and services which are produced for them. So therefore we can say that for whom to produce is the problem of distribution of income only. As you can see, for example, if there is unequal distribution of income in a company, the employees of this company will not be able to buy what has been produced in the economy as per demand projected by the producers from these employees. So if we are going to take an example of a company where the company is going to distribute unequal incomes to its employees, then what will happen? Whatever is the demand projected by these employees in the economy, the producer are producing that amount of goods and services only. But because of the unequal distribution of income among all these employees, all of these employees will not be able to get equal amount of goods and services. They will not be able to purchase equal amount of goods and services, as the distribution of income is unequal. So hence, from this stanza, we come to a conclusion that there are two aspects of the problem for whom to produce. Number one, personal distribution. Now personal distribution here means this is concerned with the distribution of production among consumers in the society. That means whatever amount of goods and services are produced, these goods and services are not equally distributed among all the consumers in the society. On the other hand, the second conclusion is this, that which is called as functional distribution. This is concerned with the distribution of production. This means distribution of production here means income generated through production among various factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Because this distribution of income is actually not equal among land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, these four factors of production, and therefore we call it as unequal distribution of income, or we can call it as inequality in income. And therefore, for whom to produce is the problem of inequality of income, which every society has to face. Now, apart from central problems based on allocation of resources, there are also some other problems that an economy has to face. maybe rich or poor. So those other problems you can see on your page, it is given there. First is fuller utilization of resources and second is growth of resources. So let's study about fuller utilization of resources. What type of central problem is this? So in the first line it is written, since resources are scarce, their underutilization or unutilization is a waste for the economy. Already in an economy the resources are scarce, resources are limited, and if these scarce resources are underutilized or maybe unutilized, it means resources are not fully utilized, then it will be counted as a waste for the economy. Already scarce resources are there. So an economy should identify and take corrective measures for the factors which make fuller utilization of resources impossible. So economy should take decisions that how to improve the underutilization or unutilization of resources. Means whatever number of resources are present, none of the resource should be kept idle or unutilized. Otherwise, it will be a waste. Hence, what type of examples are there that shows underutilization of resources? Like that of labor is unemployed, factories remain idle, land, labor and capital are not fully employed. All these are the examples showing underutilization of resources. So every economy must ensure that all available resources are utilized to the full. Otherwise, it will affect the production of different variety of goods and services. On the other hand, if you will see, the third type of other central problem is called to be as growth of resources. And this is also a problem faced by every economy. Like it is written, every economy has to explore its potential to develop itself in order to expand the size of production and national income. So, as we all are knowing that every economy makes efforts to expand the size of production, that is the production of goods and services in all the three sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. There should be increase in the production of all these goods and services, because the money value of all these goods and services only makes up our national income. And if we take the money value of all the goods and services, it will give us domestic income. But if we take the income of the factors of production from other countries also, when we are relating our country with other countries also, then it is called as factor income from abroad. When we add this also, then what we get is national income. And every economy wants that its production should increase, which will automatically result to the increase in the national income. Now in the second line, if you will see, every economy should ensure increase in its production capacity so that level of production is increased. That every economy wants to ensure that the production capacity should increase. How can we increase the production capacity? So remember, the production capacity can only be increased by employing new technology. Like for example, previously the cloth was produced in handloom mills, in which the production was very slow and not a very high production was done. But when a new technology was adopted, it was called as power loom. Then the production increased at a very high rate of cloth. Right? So the capacity of production can be increased only when we employ new technological advancement, which could lead to the increase in the production only. So therefore, in the last line it is written, an economy can achieve the objective of growth of resources through technological advancement and increase in supply of resources. So every economy has to face this problem, that how it can make efforts to employ new technology, plus if the increase in supply of resources is also experienced, then it could lead to increase in the production of goods and services, and as a result the national income will also be increasing and leading to economic growth. So these all are the different central problems of an economy. We'll do it till here today, and we'll come with a new topic in our next video. So bye for now.